Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 4 years, every single month, at the beginning of the month, I do a fundraiser to keep THORnews up and running so I can keep bringing you guys the best information possible. And in April, I've made over 90 videos, which is like 3 videos a day. So I'm working hard to keep you guys updated, and hopefully I get rewarded. And you guys are always super cool to me, and we are over halfway to my goal and have only $825 left to raise for May Day May. So if you'd like to donate, I do miss letters that you get in the mailbox because I love the post office. And I got a PayPal. Would super appreciate a contribution to that, or my Venmo, or my CashApp, or my Patron. And you guys are amazing. So let's get to the weather news now. May is probably going to be our floodiest month. And right now we're at 195 rivers flooding. And so we are going into a May that we may see 200, 300, 400 rivers flooding, depending on how wet it gets. And then it'll be hurricane season in June. So it is definitely going to be an exciting time. And right now, the Northeast is getting hit with an atmospheric river. All right, there's definitely an asterisk behind that atmospheric river because it doesn't qualify as an atmospheric river in traditional senses. That would be like California type Pineapple Express stuff. But this looks like a river, and it's going pretty much straight up from the Rooter to the Tudor. That's not true, because if it's going from the Rooter to the Tudor, it would go from Florida to the Northeast. And during the fundraisers, sometimes I get too excited and then I just start acting wacky because my whole life is on the line. Asterisk. Okay. But yeah, so this thing has been dropping some pretty heavy rain along the south and the east. It had over 100 severe wind reports, a lot of hail reports. And now for the next 40 hours, it will be dropping rain in the northeast area. And it kind of looks like a dragon. Look, there's its little dragon head, there's its dragon wings, and there's its chubby dragon body. So this is going to definitely bring some more flooding threats. And the good news is we don't really have any severe weather on the board over the next 5 days, which would be the first time that has happened in like 2 months. Oh, geez, I spoke too soon. See that little red over here? It looks like Idaho. What the heck? Is that Wyoming up here? Okay, great. I need to travel more. What a bad time to say that. Okay, but I guess we are getting some severe weather up in Idaho. And with these maps and May coming, you can never really trust the maps more than 2 or 3 days out. And so, as you can see, this is a 48-hour span, and so the Northeast is going to be getting some rain for about 40 hours, and the heavier green is going to be heavier rain. And then you have your next storm moving in, and it does have a severe weather component. So, yeehaw, it is 2020. Please don't let your guard down. We are starting to see a little bit of an uptick in earthquakes. We're getting some pretty steady 5s, but we haven't had any major earthquakes in a while. We'll keep an eye out, but it does seem like Puerto Rico is getting another interesting push of activity. My Maths clouds are like everywhere. Boo, the Florida Wave Master, is watching a storm 10 days from now like a hawk, but it seemed the models seem to be pushing it to the east, and so it is not as big a model threat as it was 24 hours ago, but we will definitely keep our eye on things. And Cranky Weather Guy, the greatest weatherman on the planet, has warned us all that we should be looking out for some tropical cyclone development in the middle of May. Right now, he's mainly focusing on the minutia of the storms that are pushing through the Northeast. As he says, still have another event yet to take place. Pendulum swing, the kick will phase into the low, increasing its vorticity. This storm is like a T-bone steak. If cow meat were rain. It's been an interesting storm, for sure. It's been an interesting storm since the start, and it will probably be an interesting storm until the end. Because it's like winter is fighting spring, which is fighting summer, so it's like thermal clashing all over. And so yeah, me and Cranky and Boo and the whole Weather Twitter team will be watching out for this hurricane season and possible early activity, because everybody's saying this hurricane season is going to be very intense. And even though all signs are pointing to an active hurricane season, right now, hurricanes are the thing I'm not very worried about, because it appears the atmospheric defense team, /Space Force team, is still kicking ass, and I hope that will continue into 2020. Because if we watch the models, they're still blowing holes in the storms. So we're not seeing the big, tightly wound, wrapped up storms that do heavy damage and cause super massive major flooding. We just haven't been seeing that in 2019, and after hurricane season or during hurricane season, and we're not seeing it now. So, I'm not telling you to let your guard down, because we need one or two more hurricane seasons to put faith into the atmospheric defense team. But I'm just saying right now, I got a funny feeling we're not going to get hit by any major hurricanes. That is not my official guesstimate for the first time in like 5 years. I'm saying, hey, I don't know what's going to happen this hurricane season, but I will be here along with my super partner buddy in weather fighting crime, Cranky Weather Guy, and we'll do what we can to bring you the best information. Cranky's already told us to watch out for tropical activity in May, in the middle of May, and we'll do that. And when I say he's my partner, I just mean like we're internet pals. No, we're not romantically linked. I'm straight, he's straight. Right now I have a crush on Billie Eilish, which creeps people out because she's 18, but she has like the voice of an angel and looks like the physical incarnation of Venus. But I'm straight and never been married. So, I don't know. It's a weird time, man. All right. But gosh, she's beautiful. And her voice. But we are watching out for storms. Oh, and I got to remind everybody, the May is going to be pretty crazy. Definitely. I've been warning about this month, all year. We're going to have Venus going retrograde. All the gas giants are going retrograde. So all the gas giants will be going retrograde while they're on the same side of the sun. We're definitely going to be looking for some activity. And will we get early hurricane season activity? I don't know. Maybe. But it looks like Texas is going to be getting some heavy rain because the moisture, as we've been watching it, it kind of hangs and does some weird stuff, like it's the earth itself is pumping out heat, which then converts into vapor, which then converts into rain. Because we are having quite a bit of volcano activity in 2020. And so that storm on the 12th is one of the ones we're watching. But so far, the storms in 2020 haven't been too nasty. And we're keeping an eye on what is going to be happening over the pond in the Europes. And I'm watching that one little area that just kind of sits and spins. It is not as interesting as it was a week ago, but we're still watching. Because I also have a crush on Emma Watson and several other women. Did I mention that I'm single and never been married and I don't have any kids, but I would like to have a shot at marriage someday. Oh, but yeah, let's look at the moisture signatures at the end of this thing, shall we? Clicky. What are you doing? Are you having a good day? It is Thor's Day. Yeah, so we'll be watching the storm in the middle of May. And that looks like our next big storm possibility. But now look at all this moisture. So not only would you have a ton of moisture, this would be a giant freaking storm just for the United States. And then look at all this moisture that's down here in the Caribbean. And that is the time that Cranky Weather Guy is warning us to be watching out for possible early hurricane development. And so, yeah, this definitely looks like the middle of May is, and remember, Venus goes retrograde on the 12th and 13th. So last time Venus went retrograde, we got hit by Hurricane Michael. And so we're definitely going to be on Super Asteroid Fight Club high alert during that time. And the moisture signatures, although they may not nail everything exactly 2 weeks out, but I found usually the amount of moisture that is predicted is usually pretty true. So that would put a lot of moisture in the Caribbean if anything were to spin up. And then, a lot of times the hurricanes go around or the cyclones go around the high pressure. So and then this would just, even without this would be a whole lot of moisture for the states. So I will keep on top of it for you. We will. It's a team effort. None of the forecast models predicted that Dorian, last year's deadliest storm, would strengthen into a Category 5 hurricane. Well, technically, I predicted it but I predicted that it would hit the East Coast. And so it didn't hit the East Coast, but I would predicted it would get to Cat 5 strength. But luckily, I think Space Force Western Fight Club stopped it from mowing over Florida. And so I don't know what's going to happen this season, but hurricane season does start June 1st. So please put together your annual kit, discuss evacuation plans, and make sure your property insurance is updated. Because if you do get flooding insurance, it takes a month for it to kick in. And I will do everything I can. See, like most people are saying this is going to be a really horrible hurricane season. And we should prepare for that because it's 2020 and most of the things have been pretty horrible in 2020. But like I'm trying to tell you that, I don't know, I do think that the Space Force thing is real. We'll see though. This will definitely be the biggest test of that theory this year. So prepare for the worst and pray for the best. Prayer Warriors definitely helped. And that little concert thing that happened in the middle of July, I'm sure helped out a ton. Anyway, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. If you would like to contribute, I got $825 to go. And I got to thank you, Kick-Ass Carrie. Super cool. C to the A to the A to the S. Thank you, Radical Rachel. Thank you, Amazing Angela. Thank you, Good Glenda. Thank you, the Super Texas Angel. Thank you, Awesome Ellie Squared. Thank you, Super Cool Mike. And thank you, Very Nice Nancy. You guys are amazing. I try to be amazing too. Like I said, I put out like 90 videos in April. I have been working my tail off. And so this is how I make my money. I earn my living through your contributions. And I find that is best because that way I am working for you, all the people on the planet, everybody. So that way, if people were to be like, if I were to work for a company, I'd be trying to sell you a grand solar minimum, or I'd be trying to sell you a politician, or I'd be trying to sell you crypto coins, or I'd be trying to sell you like carbon taxes, or like if I did it any other way, it would be much harder for me to bring you the truth as I see it at all times. And I definitely think I've done an amazing job in 2020 and for the last 7 years. But, you know, my future depends on your rewards, and I'd like to buy some groceries and pay some rent. You guys are great. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. But I do want you to know I love you. I appreciate you. Y'all are incredible. And thank you for all your support, all your prayers, all your awesomeness, all your being cool. Good people are the best. Peace out. God bless everyone. And I'll be talking to y'all in the very near future.